Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's good to see you, Secretary Yellen. So today I want to talk about the one percenters, not the billionaires, but the billionaire banks. America has more than 4,700 banks, but the ones that have the power to crash our economy and the ones that get government bailouts are not the community banks. No, the ones that pose a threat are the giant banks, the multi-billion-dollar banks. So the Fed has proposed increased capital standards to make these giant banks hold more capital. And it turns out that even among those billion-dollar banks, nearly 90% already hold enough capital. So what we're really talking about here is just a handful of the biggest banks that would have to hold a little more capital. Secretary Yellen, I just want to start by making sure I've got my facts right. Would the new Basel III rule on capital standards have no impact on community banks and, in fact, only make a handful of giant banks hold more capital?
Well, its terms apply to banks with more than $100 billion or significant trading activities, and community banks have far lower assets, and I'm not aware of any who have those.
So this is not about our community banks.
Not about.
This is about our biggest banks. Why is it so important for these giant banks to hold more capital?
Well, capital is a measure of the resources a bank has to absorb losses in the face of a shock. It's, even in normal times, capital is something a bank has to have in order to lend, and so it's critical to meeting the borrowing needs of households and businesses throughout the economy. When a shock hits, like we saw in the financial crisis, a bank can fail if it runs through its capital. And if it's a large bank or one that is highly interconnected to other financial institutions, its failure can have devastating consequences for the financial system as a whole. The failure of one bank can transmit huge problems to other banks that it lends to or borrows from. They too can fail, and we can see an event like the 2008 financial crisis. And when you have such a financial crisis, it can cause enormous economic toll. We saw that when we hit near double-digit unemployment, when the financial system collapsed. It hits hardworking Americans. It hits businesses that really had nothing to do with any of the activities that caused this.
This is a major update for all Social Security recipients. The SSA is now urging Congress to approve billions of dollars in additional funding. Experts say that this money would benefit the program and address key problems. This includes backlogs and overpayments. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video, especially if you receive Social Security benefits. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, do make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. According to Go Banking Rates, the labor union representing employees of the Social Security Administration, the American Federation of Government Employees, is now urging Congress to allocate an additional $20 billion in funding. This would address various issues facing the agency. These challenges range from staffing shortages and customer service backlogs to an ongoing overpayment issue. Last summer, the American Federation of Government Employees brought attention to what is described as a staffing and funding crisis at the SSA, potentially leading to more Americans being denied the benefits that they deserve. During a Capitol Hill gathering in June, the union highlighted that over the past decade, the number of Social Security beneficiaries has increased by 25%, while the SSA's operating budgets have decreased. Hiring has declined significantly, resulting in a shortage of workers and bringing SSA staffing levels to a 25-year low. Recent SSA data reveals that the agency's workforce hit a low of 56,423 in 2022, rebounding to 59,591 last year. However, this is still below staffing levels from 2019 and well below levels from the early 2010s. So to address these issues, the AFGE is requesting $20 billion in supplemental funding for the SSA over the next 10 years. This funding would include approximately $2.5 billion to restore staffing levels to those of 2010, $3.2 billion to enhance worker benefits and reduce attrition, and $3 billion for modernizing the SSA's technology. Additionally, $2 billion would be allocated to improve security at field offices nationwide. The union also emphasizes that the requested funding is crucial to resolving the SSA's various challenges. AFGE Council President Jessica Lapointe has stated that the funds would support hiring, worker benefits, child care, student loans, and transit and parking subsidies. However, the union faces a challenge of gaining approval from Congress. This may prove difficult, given the Republican-led House's focus on cutting rather than increasing government spending. This week, two officials from the U.S. Federal Reserve indicated that the central bank is committed to addressing inflation, but they believe it's early to start reducing interest rates. In recent months, Federal Reserve policymakers have emphasized their progress in bringing down inflation towards a target of 2%. In December 2023, they signaled an expectation of 3 interest rate cuts this year. This approach is in response to the impact of high interest rates, which have lowered the Fed's preferred inflation measure from over 7% in 2022 to an annual rate of under 2% in the past 6 months. Despite positive signs of robust hiring and economic growth, suggesting a potential end to high interest rates, 2 voting members of the Federal Open Market Committee expressed they would prefer to move forward cautiously. Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin, highlighting the historic strength of the labor market, has emphasized the need for patience. He said, job gains, unemployment, job openings, initial jobless claims, all of these metrics are very strong, and inflation is coming down. So I'm very supportive of being patient to get to where we need to get. Fed Governor Adriana Kugler, early in the day, also suggested a pause before taking action on interest rates. She acknowledged that a future reduction in the federal funds rate might be appropriate as inflation and labor market cools down. Kugler expressed optimism about the progress on inflation, but emphasized the importance of closely monitoring economic data. Recent comments by Fed officials have also influenced future traders, who have adjusted their expectations. An analysis of a data indicates a decrease in the probability of a rate cut in March over the past month. So traders now assign a probability of over 65% that the central bank will lower interest rates by its following meeting in May. So dear friends, what do you think that the Fed should do? Should they lower interest rates in March or May? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dearest friends, thank you so much for joining me here and for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway in a video later today. If you would like to enter the giveaways, simply click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed Friday.